Okay. Yes, yes, yes. We are here for another episode of Choose Your Path with me, your host, sherontelledirskell. And I just love to say the title sometimes because I think it's just absolutely cool that you can like start doing one thing and then decide to do something else. And then you decide to create something else. And then you realize that you have so many different titles. Like I used to wonder, like, why the heck does this person have all of these titles behind their name? And then when I decided to do the things that I love, to do the things that I was passionate about, to do the things that the reason of why I'm here, then I realized you can be a motivational speaker. You can be a celebrity publicist. You can be an international bestseller. You can be whatever you want to be. You just have to decide to choose to do it. And that is the point of this show. Choose Your Path is to inspire those to believe you can live the life. First of all, that you can live the life that you want to live. Number two, that you have to believe. There has to be some beliefs part there. There has to be some knowing that you can absolutely do it. And then you got to trust the process. And I also love to say fall in love with it. Like, you know what love does? So can you imagine if you put that love into that passion and that dream? Oh my goodness, choose your path. That's what this is all about. Making the decision to choose what you want to do for your life and what feels good to you, whatever that may be. So today, I say all that to say before I bring on my guest here, I am talking to Fredrick D. Scott. He is a business consultant, a philanthropist, and he is also a private equity investor. And I think it's just so much more, but to narrow it down, those are the three main things that I absolutely love. And we're going to touch on some of those things and we're just going to have a conversation. So I am so grateful. I want to say thank you guys for like coming in and spending, once again, it's spending, they say that social media, digital currency. I say absolutely not. This is like serious. This is like the most expensive thing that you could ever spend in your life. And that is time. And you're deciding to spend it with me and my special guest. And I just want to say, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. I wanted to click on something and share with you because I think it's just absolutely amazing. Hello, Larry Lemio. How are you? I really appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's bring him on. All right. Look at you. Microphone check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6 and 7.
Hey, how are you?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm doing quite well, quite well. Thank you for asking.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I first and foremost want to say thank you so much for being here. I knew I was missing a part. Put your name here at the bottom so that everyone can go and follow you and they can know who is Sherontelle speaking to today. I believe that's the right one. All right. Hello, Williams _Bearing _Yolanda Yvette. I see you. It's so many people here. I see you guys. Thank you so much for the donation. Creative Art of Expressions. Thank you. Okay, let's talk. Mr. Fredrick D. Scott, thank you so much for being here on Choose Your Path. I really appreciate you being here at this moment. How are you feeling?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here for sure. And I'm happy to be speaking with everyone today. So yeah, I'm here. I hope you guys don't mind. I got my coffee. Definitely need that. It's been a long day.
Yes, me too. Well, I have coffee every conversation usually, so yeah, I have to have that. So that's good. Yes. See, we're already aligned. Already, I got my coffee. You got yours. Let's get started. So
Let's get started.
choose your path. I started about the beginning of last summer, I believe, when I realized that the world was not opening up anytime soon, and I needed
Sure.
to adapt and adjust. So I was just going to go live with my friends and check in and say, "How are you doing?" On social media, though, we like have a cool conversation. And then I got an idea: choose your path, continue on. I wrote a press release and saying that I was going to end last December, and here we are in May. So I think one of my biggest lessons that I learned during this pandemic, I say that to say, is that I'm not in control. And of course, I can't control external events, but I can definitely control how I'm, perceiving it and what's going to happen as I continue to navigate through by how I go through it. So I decided to choose positive. Decided to choose conversations. Me and my
Sure.
grandmother raised me, so that's all we did was talk. And I know how that can. I'm still living on that wisdom. So I want people to take away, some. You're going to share some of your journey with us, and I want people to
Sure.
take something, whatever that may be, just one thing from this conversation and pour it into their lives so that they can, if they're not creating, start thinking about creating, because I do believe we're born creators. And if this is a
Sure.
time to
Absolutely.
heal, heal. So here we are. How are you doing during this pandemic? And any lessons have you learned that you want to share?
I'm glad that you asked. You said an interesting thing, and so I kind of want to start with
Oh,
that, right?
okay.
The power of being creative and taking action. I always tell people, especially my clients and people that I talk to on my podcast and things of that nature, I tell them all the time that, successful people don't wait for things to happen to them, right? They happen to things. And that is so very important, being diligent, being proactive in the things that you do, in everything that you do, and putting your best into everything that you do, I think is the first ingredient to becoming successful at whatever it is that you want to do. And so I think that is a good first step. But with that in mind, so as Sherontelle said, I am Fredrick Scott. I'm a private equity investor. I've been on the institutional side of Wall Street for almost 15 years now. Before that, I used to own an investment banking and advisory firm. I was Ebony Magazine's top 30 under 30 in May 2010. So there's that. I am a philanthropist. So I do have a family foundation. We're a civil society organization with the Economic and Social Council for the United Nations, as well as a member of the United Nations Global Compact. And I'm a business consultant. So, as a business consultant, I help a lot of, small and growth stage businesses kind of get where it is that they really want to be. And, I think through those things, and incidentally, I'm also a contributing writer for Entrepreneur Magazine. I think that what I like about what
Oh,
we've created as kind of a family and kind of, a brand is kind of the ecosystem that we've created. As a private equity investor, we're always looking for opportunities to invest in, the next great business, right? I think that's going to bring us the targeted rate of return that we're looking for.
all right.
And what I find, on the, being in Wall Street for almost 15 years, what I found is that there is an underrepresentation in African American owned businesses that get access to institutional capital, that get access to the capital markets, things of that nature. And that's because there are not a lot of us on Wall Street. There are not a lot of people that have the shade of skin complexion
Oh,
that I do on Wall Street. And so,
oh, your face is
what
fuzzy.
I oh, is it fuzzy?
Yeah.
Is it clearer now? I hope
No.
so. Okay, give
Okay.
me a moment here. Let me see if I can't rectify that situation.
Okay. Stand by. Hello, hello, hello. The real is is it T-O? The real is OGTV. Okay. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, technical difficulty. Shh. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really sincerely appreciate you. Hello, Tiffany Gaines. I am Tiffany Gaines. You guys go and follow her. She is a powerhouse.
Hey, I believe I'm back now.
Okay, you're like testing, testing, one, two, three. That's okay. Technical difficulties. All right.
Sure, sure. Is it better now? Am I clear? Can you see me okay?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, you're
wonderful.
coming.
So what I was saying is, there's not a lot of us on Wall Street. There are not a lot of people with my skin complexion on Wall Street. And so because of that, we are very much underrepresented in the capital markets overall. And
Yes.
so what I like about being a business consultant, what I like about being a private equity investor is that as a business consultant, I get the opportunity to see early stage businesses. I get the opportunity to consult African American owned, minority owned startups and growth stage businesses and help them get into the position that they need to get into to be able to access the institutional capital necessary to be able to take their business to that level to where someone might want to buy it at a higher multiple in the private market, or maybe they might get a chance to do an IPO. And so I like seeing that because while I'm not an angel investor or a venture capitalist, I do have relationships with institutional firms that do angel investing in venture capitalism. And so, when I've nurtured a business along the way, I understand that business very well. And so when I'm introducing that business to different capital players on the street, they know, okay, Fredrick's been involved in this business. Fredrick's helped this business along the way. And they have a little bit more confidence or a little bit more willing to sit down and hear what that business has to say. So I think that's what I love. And on the philanthropic side, what I love about it is, first of all, you live good by doing good. So let's just start there. So I think that's very, very important. But for clients that are trying to start nonprofit organizations, one of the hardest things they have is the same thing that we have on the for-profit side, which is getting access to capital. And so we do a lot of grants and scholarships. And so, a lot of the businesses, the nonprofit organizations that I consult, when they get to a point to where they have everything in place to be ready to properly operate, we usually seed them with their first large donation, large grant to be able to fund those programs and develop that track record so they'll be able to attract even larger donors and contributors to their foundation. So that's kind of like what I do. I use the platform that I have with Entrepreneur Magazine to highlight businesses that, I talk about a lot of different things. And so I get to highlight businesses. I get to get quotes from businesses that I'm familiar with. And that gives them a little bit more credibility, a little bit more spotlight, and the opportunity to generate more business for themselves. So I like the little ecosystem that we've kind of created to be able to really give back and really benefit and highlight, well-run, well-organized minority-owned businesses. So, that's a little bit in a nutshell, kind of what I do. So.
That's totally loaded and absolutely amazing. I mean, like, I'm sitting here and I'm like in awe. I was reading an article and I wanted to share it with you since we're on the topic of finances, right?
Sure.
Financial literacy in the Black community. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. Where are you from?
Okay. Originally, I'm from San Bernardino, California. Shout out to the 909. Hey.
Shout out to 216 because I see them on here. Absolutely amazing. Wow, you're from California. Yeah, I'm from Ohio. And growing up for me, there was no talk about business. I'm just giving my experience. There was no talk about business. There was no talk about no stocks. Definitely not. That wasn't even close to even, I've never heard it. And it was literally just get a check or get a job, go to school, but you're
Correct.
really not sure what you're going to school for because a lot of times you don't want to go because no one can really afford it. So how do we even get here when we talk about, earning and consuming and saving and investing?
I am so glad you asked that question. First of all, let's just acknowledge the reality that that trend that you are speaking of has not changed even in 2021. In 2021, the African American community still has one of the lowest financial, if not the lowest financial literacy knowledge rate in the country. We have the lowest savings to income ratios, and we have some of the lowest FICO scores in the country, though we are the number one consuming demographic in the country. So what that tells you is it's not a lack of dollars, it's a lack of priorities, it's a lack of knowledge. And so what I've done to kind of combat this, I'm only one person, but I do what I can, right? So I started a platform that I call #GetRealWoke. And that's what my YouTube channel and what my Instagram is about. And why do I say get real woke? You know, I heard a lot of people, you know, and a lot of people in our community say they're woke, right? They're woke. They know what's going on, right? But are you really, right? Are you really woke? Are you woke to the things that really matter? How's your FICO score? How much savings do you have? Are you budgeting for the future? Are you thinking long term? Are you educating yourself in the financial literacy concepts necessary to be able to set you and your family up for success? Because in order to do anything that you want to do in this life, regardless of whether you like it or not, it takes money. You got to cut a check. So, you know, I understand that everybody's woke to the socioeconomic situation that's happening and the sociological conditions of the African American community. But let's get real woke and start talking about the financial literacy knowledge that you need to have. So on my platform, I literally come out almost weekly and put out free financial literacy knowledge. I actually wrote 6 books to help people out in these areas. Like I wrote one on investing. I wrote one on cryptocurrency. I see a lot of these fake cryptocurrency gurus coming out now. These fly-by-night guys. I see a lot of these credit repair experts coming out now, charging the community an arm and a leg for information that for the most part is wrong. And so what I did was, so for example, in credit repair, I did a 4-part series. It's on Instagram. It's on my YouTube channel for free. I wrote all the letters that you would ever need to be able to dispute and restore your credit. And I put them on my link tree. They're actually on my link tree. Hashtag for the free. It doesn't cost you anything. You go download them. And if you watch the videos and if you use those letters, you can fix your own stuff, manage, maintain, and grow your own credit for the cost of a stamp and an envelope. I'm just saying, like, I mean, this is basic financial literacy knowledge that should be free. It should be free, period. And so instead of crying about what I saw that was wrong, I took action and I did something about it by developing a set of financial literacy curriculum that I could put out to the community for free to make the community better. And so that's what hashtag Get Real Woke is all about. I even do a live Q&A session every Sunday where people can come on. I pick one person every week to come on and ask me questions for free. He asked me 10 questions for free. It's like getting a free consultation from me. And I do it to help people out. I wrote books. I mean, they're not free, but at the end of the day, they dirt cheap. And the kind of information you're getting, I mean, hey, like you pay thousands of dollars for that information. I'm giving it to you for the cost. I think my highest costing book is like $47. And it teaches you, I did a whole video on how you start a business, an e-commerce business for less than $1,000 with product, how you build a transaction funnel, how you profit from social media, how you turn clients and how you turn following into converting clients. I mean, I wrote a whole book about just that alone because that's what it's about. So, I mean...
That is so interesting because I remember years ago when I reached 10,000 on Twitter, right? And I was like, this is pretty cool, right? But then I was thinking like, I have all of these people following me. It has to be something. I got to turn this into some kind of profit because that just makes no sense to have people, you know, want to know what I'm eating for breakfast or whatever. Like it just needed to be bigger than that. So I think that's amazing. Like you have books on social media marketing, the online business blueprint, like, cause this is definitely a business. Well, it can be.
It is. It should be. In 2021, it should be. Like I think the thing that amazes me the most is, and I always ask clients, okay, great. I understand that you're in Georgia. I understand you're in North Carolina. I get it, right? Do you want to be a localized business, or do you want to be a business that touches people all over the United States? If that's what you want to do, then social media is the way you're able to do that. So you have to develop social media campaigns that convert. You have to understand that if you're spending money on developing a social media campaign that converts, you can't have a trash website, because if they get to your website, you have 3 to 5 seconds to catch that attention aesthetically from a psychological standpoint. And if it doesn't work, they're going to click away, which means they're not converting into dollars. So you wasted your money. It's a full on process. And I love teaching people how to build processes that make money, that convert. And I tell people, you don't have to buy ads out of the gate. A lot of people, even if you got 200 followers on social media, put your product out, test your market, and see what's going on. If people like what you're talking about, if people like the way you've packaged it up, even your little 200 followers, at least 10 to 15% of them are going to buy. Guess what? They're buying the product. Your company has now made money to be able to invest into better marketing aspects, to be able to grow the following organically and convert those followers into customers. And this is scaling on social media. And I mean, you can do this for less than $1,000. It's not, and that's incorporation. That's your articles of organization. That's your website. That's your product. I mean, you've done it all for less than $1,000. I mean, with everybody getting PUA money right now, everybody getting taxes, everybody getting stimulus checks, this is the time right now, especially because all corporations, federal and state governments and local governments right now are making big pushes into diversity, equity, and inclusion because of the shareholder accountability requirements that they have. If you are a minority, right now is the time for you to be starting a business, be in business, and now instead of holding out your hand talking about equity, maybe you can create your own equity. Let's go. Hey.
Let's go right now. I was reading an article and I wanted to share that as well. It says, according to many surveys, for example, let's say the white family holds assets of like 630,000, right? But the average African American family only holds 98,000.
The numbers are actually lower than that, but yeah.
I mean, and that's pretty, wow, it's lower than that.
It's lower than that.
I feel like when I reach a certain level of whatever that may be, I still feel like I'm like hundreds of years behind.
That makes sense. And a lot of respects, overall as a community, we are, right? Because you got to understand, this is a lot to unpack right now, right? So, I don't know how deep you want me to go, but there's a lot to unpack in that statement. First of all, you have to understand that in this country, there is a socioeconomic construct that has been built specifically to make us the serving class in this country. And Caucasian people and others that align themselves with Caucasian people have gone to extreme lengths to make sure that remains a constant. And so this is why the only way that you break this cycle and begin to close that gap is with education. You have to educate yourself in the things that matter. And don't get me wrong, I like shoes, I like watches, I like looking nice, I like, having my waves spinning and winning. I love all of that, right? But at the end of the day, let's be very clear here. Educate yourself on the things that matter. Finance matters. If you want to be a business owner, it is very difficult for you to be a startup business owner if you can't finance a plate of food because your FICO score is in the toilet. These are just basic things that if you just take a little bit of time, I'm not saying you got to spend all day, just take a little bit of time, take an hour at it every day to read and educate yourself. And I'm telling you, 6 months from that, the point that you start doing that consistently, your mind is going to be in a much different place. And then you can fathom other possibilities. So, the biggest thing, what I see is we have a blue collar mentality. And what is a blue collar mentality? We work. Even people that actually make six figures in the African American community work a lot harder than white people and Jewish people do. This is a fact of life, right? Because what we do is we get so focused on trying to maintain that six figures that we don't realize that money grows exponentially on itself. What does that mean? That means that instead of killing yourself 6-7 days a week to continue to make this six figures, take some of that money that you're making every month and put it into a passive income generating stream of revenue, such as an index fund, such as real estate portfolio. Start buying real estate, start renting it out. What you do over time is you begin to buy back your time, because you begin to make more money passively. You begin to grow your passive income streams. And that allows you to be able to work less and still make the same money. And over time, your passive income stream actually makes more money than you ever could working 7 days a week, because that's just how money works. Money is like soldiers. You send them out to war, you expect them to take hostages and come back. If you're not doing that, then you're just sending money out to slaughter. And so that is, I think, the key. I think we want to look good, but we're not taking time into actually being good, having good. And that is why mental health is such a huge thing in the African American community. People are suffering in silence because they're killing themselves for a lifestyle, not realizing that at the end of the day, the lifestyle is there for you, but you got to educate yourself first. There's no shortcut. You go walk every single step. You can't take an elevator to this success, baby. You just can't. Hey,
you definitely can't. I feel like you were talking to me, my old self. I did a show a couple years ago with Dr. Oz and Bishop Jakes. And I remember having a conversation with Bishop Jakes, and he was telling me, Sherontelle, I really think that just because you're busy does not mean that you're being productive. Because I was working at some point years ago, I was like doing over 75 hours a week. And I was not stopping. It was all work. I mean, I even did a mixtape with the DJ. Hashtag all work, no sleep. Like, that is the most craziest thing. Like, you need to sleep. You need your rest. You need to make sound decisions. You can't make sound decisions off of that. And it was just like I was in this rat race. I don't even know where I was going. It was just like, okay, I do this. And then it's like, okay, I do, and just continue to keep going.
And the scariest thing about that is that studies show that when you're not getting the proper amount of sleep, and what is the proper amount of sleep depends on how old you are, right? So, the amount of sleep that you need in your 20s is different than the amount of sleep that you need in your 30s. And while I know I look like, young Tenderoni, young Thundercat, I'm actually 36 years old. So let's get that out there right now. I know I look like a young Thundercat, got this light hitting me the right way. Boy, it's hitting right, but I'm 36.
Right.
But when I was in my 20s, and I could go on 4 hours of sleep 5 days a week with no problems. No problems at all. 36, look here, I need about 6 or 7. And what I find is, if I'm not getting 6 or 7 hours of sleep a night, right? Yeah, every now and then I can go on 2 or 3 or 4, sure. But if I'm not getting consistent sleep, while my mind is still firing the right way, my body is sluggish. I'm not able to operate at the same level of excellence that I am accustomed to operating with, because my body is sluggish. And don't get me wrong, I know I'm about 30 pounds soaking wet, but your boy like to work out now. You know what I mean? I do work. Hey, I do work out pop the collar, but I still need my sleep. You see what I'm saying? And that's just real. I still need my sleep. And so one thing that I don't kill yourself for this success, because let me tell you something. When you burn out, you can burn out long before you get there. You have to time manage. You have to make time for yourself. I mean, I got to tell you that on Sundays, yo, listen, Sundays is not a day that I really do a whole lot. I don't do a whole lot on Sundays. I kick off my
That's my
shoes
day.
as Escape said. I kick off my shoes and relax my feet. I party on down to the Escape beat. I'm even getting to the point now on Saturdays where I'm not even, I work like half days on Saturdays. Like it's times that I just put down my phone. It'll ring, but I don't hear you. I can't see you.
Yeah.
And that's just where it is. But don't get it twisted. Yeah, okay, I made a few nickels over the course of my career. I'm doing okay. I'm pretty comfortable, but I still work like I ain't got it. So don't ever get to a point to where you get so comfortable to where you stop going out to get it. Always work like you ain't got it, but always remember that you got to make some time for you too. You have to recharge your batteries. That is very important. If you don't, you're not going to be as productive, and it's going to take you a lot longer to get where you want to be, if you even get there. And that's just real.
No, that's definitely real because my heart completely stopped. That's the thing in that story is that it completely stopped. They had to resuscitate me and bring me back. And I was in ICU for a while. And then I transitioned out into the general population floor. And then I went home and I had to recover for an entire year. So
wow.
instead of
I'm very
spending a
sorry to
year
hear that.
creating, I had to spend time recovering because I didn't listen to the body. I did not. All I could see was, I got to do this. This opportunity only comes around. And, this is the mentality, like coming from such a poverty stricken neighborhood and growing up and all of those things. And even people think sometimes when you got a job and you're making $50,000 a year, that's like great. Like they think that was good when I was growing up. To now you're somewhere else where it just don't look familiar. Like it didn't look familiar to me to go to Hollywood. That's why I never did it. I usually just be in the background. And then a couple of years ago, last year, I decided to do the Oscar galas and all of that. And even with that, I'm in this Bentley, I'm dressed up in all of this amazing garb. And I was like, this isn't it. I mean, that's cool. It feels great. It's cool. Take the pictures and all of that. But it just feels like it's just so much more. And sometimes we spend so much time chasing, what is that? Like chasing the bag. I'm not chasing no bag. I'm just not doing that.
So here's the thing, right? Let's talk about chasing the bag. This is the funniest thing. And I just want to give I just want to give people perspective, right? People always say in our community, I'm chasing the bag. Okay, that's cool, right? But I don't care if you got an industrial sized garbage bag. Those are still pretty small. I don't chase bags. I chase bolts. And I'm not even chasing anymore. See, that's the thing. What you got to understand about money. Money runs extremely fast. And so when you're chasing that money is running from you. And you'll never catch it. You may catch the tail end of it. So you might catch a couple of dollars here and there, but it's going to be very inconsistent. And you're not going to be happy because you're not making what you really want to make. What I always tell people is to chase passion. See, when you chase passion, you're naturally good at what you do. You naturally reach the highest levels your mental capacity will allow you to reach. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of success, in case you didn't know. And when you find that level of success, you don't have to worry about chasing the money. The money will chase you. And I promise you from experience, baby, you can't outrun it. It's an inevitability, right? Nothing sucks more. Let me tell you what sucks. Nothing sucks more than having a career and being miserable inside. You look real nice. Yeah. You real fly. You got the nice glasses on, your hair doing real fresh, but you're dying inside.
Yeah.
Nothing sucks more than that. And I love what I do. And I've been in situations where it felt like I was dying inside. Do you know why? Because I had my priorities mixed up. I was so busy chasing the money that when I finally got it and realized how easy it was to get it, I'm like, wait a minute, there has got to be more to life than this. Because if this is all it is, baby, you can take, hey, bag and tag me right now. It's over with. And that's when I found out that it's not about how much money you make, number one, it's about how much you keep, and number two, it is about the impact you make in the lives of other people with the dollars that you have. Because at the end of the day, it is not money that makes the world go round. Money is a byproduct of quality relationships. Relationships make the world go round. So if you really want to know what the quality of your relationships are and how well you are managing and maintaining those relationships, all you got to do is get out your little phone right now, open up your banking app, look at your bank account, and if you don't like what you see in there, then maybe you need to manage relationships better, and maybe you need to work on personal growth and development, because people don't attract what they want. They attract who they are. So if you don't like the circle of people around you, then maybe you need to work on your personal growth and development, so that way you can elevate, so that way the quality of people you attract elevates, and you're able to then achieve the success that you want to achieve, because people don't get anywhere very far by themselves. I learned that the hard way. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you what I learned the hard way. So, hey.
I wish I had a clap button. Right, Tiffany Gaines, she said, you better tell him. I know. I said, yes. I had a friend this morning send me a message and say, Sherontelle, I really think that you should take your conversations and put them in a book and maybe make them volumes, since you're doing so many of them. And I said, oh my goodness, you're absolutely right. That's why I bring this. So I write down, because I'm going to put out a book with each of the guests, and how they inspire me and what I learned during these conversations. Because this is history in the making, and you're absolutely right. Wow. But you said preach. I know. It's like, get it together. Who has been your hero in your story? You come from a single parent household?
I come from a single parent household. I'm the oldest of three. And funny enough, I come from nothing, right? I come from absolutely nothing. My mom, she passed away in 2019, but my mom was a heroin addict the better part of my life. I've been raising kids since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And, if I had to say who my heroes are, honestly, I've had some pretty impactful people in my life. But one of my heroes is a hero, and he's my first mentor. His name is Al Hunley. And he's not a hero for me in the way that people would look at a hero. He's a hero for me because of his honesty and his truth. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. He actually shaped the way I mentor people because of the way he mentored me. So I was a junior loan officer. And when I started in my career, I was homeless, actually. I was sleeping in a 1990 Honda Civic that didn't even work. And I would walk to the office every day. And I remember times when I didn't even have money to wash my clothes, and I had like dirt around the neck, the ring of my collar, and I had dirt around here, and I had the white shirts on. So, you see that real good, when you got your little sweat ring around the neck. I'm laughing about it now, but boy, it wasn't funny then, boy. I wanted to cry. Right. But the interesting thing about it is, I remember when, he believed in me long before I believed in myself, long before, I really believed that I could. And this was, when I met him, I was fresh out of the Army. So I was in the Army for 4 years. I went in when I was 17. And, I remember when I first started working with him, and, I worked in his office, and he would tell me everything to do because he believed in me. But me, I always thought I was too smart for my own damn good. So, I wouldn't listen. And I kept running my head into the wall, And finally, I got so frustrated, I went into his office and I told him straight up, I said, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I just want to not be homeless anymore. I want to make some money, right? Yeah. And he said, are you finally ready? I said, yeah. I did everything that man told me to do, and within 6 months, I made a little over $300,000 after taxes and went off and started my own business. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I made that money, I made my six figures. He told me he'd make me a six-figure earner. He did that. I came back to him, and I told him, I said, I want to be a millionaire, right? And, he told me, he's like, I can't teach you how to do that. And I got mad. You just don't want me to pass you. You don't want me to be like you. You holding me back, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, he still calls me Einstein to this day. He's called me Einstein. He still does. He said, Einstein, slow down. And so when I finally got done with all the tirade and flipping out, I mean, I wanted to turn over the man's desk. I was so mad. Like, and I never forget it. He told me, he said, Einstein, it's not that I don't want to teach you. He said, I've never made 7 figures. I've never been a millionaire. So he said, I've always been comfortable making 6 figures. So I don't know how to teach you how to do that. He said, I have no doubt that you're going to get there. I'm just not going to be the one that can take you there. You need to find someone that can get you there. I will give that man the shirt off my back. He is my hero because that man, instead of caging me like a bird, like a pet, and keeping me in his office to keep making him more money, he was honest enough and cared about me enough to let me go so I could spread my wings and be everything that I could possibly be. And if he could have lied to me, he could have spun me, all kind of stuff, and I would have stayed there because I trusted him. But he cared enough about me to let me go. And because of that, I made my first $1 million in 2008. So that man, if he asked me today for $100,000, I'm sending that money without questions because that man believed in me and cared enough about me to allow me to reach my fullest potential. And I thank him for that every single day. So when I think about a hero, that's what I think about. Somebody that didn't just accomplish great things themselves, but help other people accomplish great things, right? And so, you know, I always keep that with me because when I mentor people, when I take on someone that I really believe in and want to help, I'm always honest about what I don't know. And I always know that when they've reached the limit of what I can do for them, and I'm always willing to let them go and be great because it's all about helping someone else become great. And a lot of people in our community, they want to hold you back. They'll celebrate you. They'll cheer for you. They want you to do good as long as you're not doing better than them. Baby, listen, let me teach you something about relationships. Can I give a relationship game real quick? Just a little bit of relationship game. Check just a little bit of relationship game. Check this out, right? You know why I want people that I help to win and make as much money as they can possibly make? Because, baby, I done been up. I done been down. I done been everywhere you want to be and everywhere you don't. Literally. I've been the arrogant dude. I've been the asshole. I've been all of them things, right? I have learned what I know the hard way. And one thing I know is this. If I help you get where you want to be and you have reached a level of success that you want to reach and you got dollars in your bank account, baby, I could lose everything tomorrow. My currency is in my relationships because I can pick up the phone and I can call somebody that I put in position, right? That's now doing very well for themselves. And I can say, yo, send me 500,000, right? Because I need to get back on. And with no question, I'm going to get it. Why? Because I helped them get there. I didn't hold them back. I pushed them up. I am building my own safety net. And if the stars align, stuff falls from the sky, hell freezes over, and I lose everything, hey, I got a phone call I can make.
Yeah,
it ain't about nothing, and they gonna send me that money without questions. And that is why relationships make the world go round. If you treat people well, if you do good by people, you can never be broke long because people will always come to your aid if you treat them well and help them get where it is that they want to be. Stop holding people back and let them be great. Some people are meant to be greater than you, and that's okay. If I'm the only person, if I'm the smartest person in the room, if I'm the most successful person in the room, I have done something wrong. I am afraid. I am afraid.
Yeah, you need to check yourself. Definitely evaluate why.
And that's a fact. Listen, like, I don't know everything. And the reality of the situation, the reason why you surround yourself with great people is because guess what? Yeah, I wrote a book on social media marketing, profiting from social media. Does that mean I'm an expert at social media marketing? I'm serviceable. I know a thing or two. But you know what I do? I bring competent people around me that know more, right? Because my job as a private equity investor, as a business consultant, as a business owner, right, is to figure out where we are and where we want to be. I just need to hire competent people in between to ensure that we get where we want to be. You see what I'm saying? I'm the macro guy. I'm the macro guy. I hire good quality people to be the micro guys. And that's what people don't realize. And it's that crab mentality in the Black community that, pull you down when you get to the top of the bucket that holds us all back as a community. Baby, I ain't trying to pull nobody down. When I get to the top of the bucket, I'm trying to reach out and pull somebody else up. Hey, stand on my shoulders and climb up there. So when you get there, hey, man, you can tell me what's up there. You know what I mean? And help me get there. When you do it like that, everybody eats. The rule is simple. Everybody gets paid. Nobody gets hurt. Hey.
You and I have a similar story because my mom, she was definitely, I think she dabbled in all types of drugs. She never raised me. My grandmother raised me until I was 18. She had me at 15. And then when I came to the East Coast in New York City, I had absolutely nothing. I think I had like about $250. I had left my house and everything due to domestic violence. I had $250, a stroller, and a baby bag. I remember. Very minimal, because when you're leaving an abusive relationship, you don't need all of those things. You just need your life. Like, those things no longer be important. So when I got here on the East Coast, everything moved so fast, and somehow, I adapted and I adjusted, but it was definitely a transition to go from nothing to get to a point where people are offering you deals that don't look like where I come from. And it was very scary. It was very, very scary. Like, some people say, like, I would have took that. And it's like, yeah, but if I didn't have the correct financial literacy of how to even maintain that, it's just going to go right back in the hands that it came from. Right. So how do you work towards, like, when you have that big idea, how do you work towards that time and that talent that you have, and to turn it into something and manifesting that, even though you're literally in a real live war of your own?
So, I think that's the struggle of every small business owner. I think that's the struggle. There's a difference between being proficient at your craft and proficient at running a business. They're two totally separate things, right?
Yes.
And people don't get that. They think that just because I'm the greatest producer, I'm the greatest hairstylist, I'm the greatest hair and makeup person, that means that you're just going to automatically be a great business person. No, they're two totally different things. Unfortunately, the truth of the situation is you cannot read experience. You can read as many self-help business books that you want to read in this world. Yeah, you're going to have some nomenclature. You're going to have some, some vocabulary that sounds right.
Yeah.
But the way you learn how to be a successful business owner is by being a business owner. You fail. Successful business owners are products of failure. You fail your way to success. And that means that you're going to lose some money along the way. That means you're going to get taken advantage of. I know I sure certainly have, right?
I did too.
That means you're going to do a lot of crying quietly. I don't like crying in front of people. I go stand in the shower, and run the shower real loud and turn my music up real loud and be in there like, hurt, right? But I mean, you're going to go through those things, right? So that's all part of the experience. See, this is why people that win the lottery, they're usually, by the end of it all, they're a lot worse off than when they started. There is a learning trajectory that happens as you grow your income. And that learning trajectory comes with a lot of obstacles, a lot of heartaches, a lot of pain. And from that is the lessons, right? It's the lessons you learn and apply from failure that helps you succeed. And the more lessons you learn, see, wisdom, and a lot of people think that wisdom, people tell me I'm so wise. I'd be like, thank you so much. You know what wisdom is? And they're like, what? All the lessons I've learned from all the messing up I've done. That's all it is, right? So what you're telling me essentially is that I am a consummate and consistent mess up, and have been for a long time. And I would certainly agree with you. So all of this wisdom right here, hey, listen, Hey, I don't make the same mistake twice, but I always find a new and interesting, exciting way to mess up. That's one thing about it, right? I am the king of finding a new way to mess up. And that's okay, right? That's okay. Never be afraid. Never let failure, your fear of failure, be bigger than your desire for success. Fail big, fail fast, fail often. You're gonna fail. It's part of being a business owner. You may start a business and you may be out of business 90 days later. That's okay. Dust yourself off.
Keep going.
Bandage yourself up and try it again. But apply the lessons you learned from failing that business so you don't make the same mistakes twice, right? Being a business owner is like, think about it like this. Being a business owner is like jumping off a cliff and seeing if you can fly. That's really what it is, right? You come all the way back. Boy, you get a running start. You run as fast as you can and you jump as far out there as you can every time. And a lot of times when you jump out there, you're going to feel like you got air. And then next thing you know, you on the ground, falling fast and hard.
Oh.
Hey, listen, all you got to do is get up. Yeah, you cry a little bit because it hurt. You know what I mean? Bandage up and jump off the next cliff. It's likely you're going to fall off the next one too. You're going to fall again. That's okay. Keep falling because eventually you're going to start falling in style. And then after you start falling in style a little while, next thing you know, you're going to jump off and you're going to be expecting the fall that never comes. It's because you finally flew. That is the first step of success. Now, the other thing is, right, now once you get successful, and this is what happens in what I call, and forgive this word that I'm about to use here, but I got to use it, new money niggas, right? This is what I call new money niggas. Let me tell you about new money niggas. New money niggas then finally figured out that they can fly. They feeling themselves, right? Yes. They take a picture. They got the Rolex on. They got the big old chain on. You know, every time I see people with big ass chains, I always want to say badass investment. That's what it needs to say, right? Terrible investment. But anyway, let's just leave that right there, right? But you know, now they feeling themselves. You know what I mean? They real arrogant. They done forgot how they got there. They forgot all them people that helped them get there, all the sacrifices that people made to help them get there. Now all of a sudden they self-made. Now all of a sudden they got there by themselves. You are a liar. Nobody finds success by themselves. But this is like Icarus. And if anybody ever remembers the story of Icarus, he got his little wings, he flew too close to the sun, then things melted, and he fell. And that is what happens when you find success and you become a new money nigga. You act brand new. You start feeling yourself too much. That arrogance will cause you to fall. That ego will cause you to fall because now you think you know every damn thing and can't nobody tell you nothing. Not realizing that getting there is only the first step. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. Because the only way to be able to continue to grow wealth is to keep some of it. Hey.
Hashtag get real woke.
Facts. And you getting that hashtag for the free. Let's go.
Right. Exactly. That is so funny. I know, oh my God, we at the end. I do have to, I guess we got to get the book because we don't even have time to go into the Bitcoin because I see that everywhere. Like, everywhere.
All right, look, I'm gonna give you some cold advice real quick.
Okay.
It's a lot of quote unquote self-styled, self-proclaimed cryptocurrency gurus out there. Yes. They're all over social media. I tell my following this all the time. I'm gonna tell y'all that's listening right now. All right, now don't let social media cost you everything you work so hard for. Knowledge, experience, execution, right? When people are talking about anything in finance or business development, you need to ask yourself, right? There are three things you need to ask. What knowledge do you have and credentialing do you have that certifies you as knowledgeable to be talking to me? That's number one. Number two, what credible experience do you have on your resume that qualifies you to be talking to me? Number three, and this is execution. What is your track record of success and performance that gives me the confidence that I should be listening to you? 95% of these self-styled gurus will die at the first one, credentialing. They ain't got none.
Just
So
at the knowledge.
while we on the subject, just to clarify the record, clear the air here, I'm a financial modeling evaluation analyst, right? I'm a capital
Okay.
markets and securities analyst. I'm a commercial banking and credit analyst, and I have my diploma in Islamic finance. I used to own an investment banking and advisory firm.
Yeah.
I'm a private equity investor today. So, I mean, I check all those boxes. So I
So
tell y'all this
knowledge,
for a reason.
experience, and execution for
Period.
sure. Yeah. Point
Period.
blank period.
Point blank
Right.
period.
Point blank
Don't hear it
period.
if it's a so, real quick, because I know we're about to wrap up here.
Yes.
For those that are looking for me, I know some of you guys probably clicked the pinned thing down
Oh,
there
you can't
and
do
probably
it.
didn't find me. It's
Can I
at
put it on?
Fredrick, Fredrick Scott. So you can find me there, and then you can click my link tree. You find my website there. You can find my all my little goodies there. I got a shop button on the Instagram page. So if you want to check out the books, cryptocurrency, I got one on cryptocurrency. I've got one on investing for success, all the things you need to be thinking about before you put your money in the market. Like, do you have savings? Do you have a budget? Things like that. For you business owners that are out there looking for business grants, I actually wrote a book on business grants to help you understand that. Social media marketing, profiting from social media. Listen, if you're going to start any type of business, you need to understand how to build social media campaigns. For those that are interested in a primarily online business, I wrote a book called The Online Business Blueprint. And what that book does is teach you everything you need to know from a foundational standpoint about how to build, grow an online-based business, how to build your transaction funnels, what that really means. And if you couple that book with the social media book that I wrote, I mean, you can definitely start generating you some money. There's enough information there to start actually generating some money. I have my platform, hashtag Get Real Woke. It's on YouTube. Come on, check me out. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on. Let's see, what else am I forgetting? I have my Q&A sessions. If you're interested in that, you can hit my website, fill out the form, and perhaps you'll be one of the people I pick to come on live with me and do a free Q&A session with me. If you want to talk about on a one-on-one about your specific business, your specific situation, feel free to book me for an assessment now. I'm going to put this out there for the record. Hey, look here. Just because you book me for an assessment doesn't mean I'm going to take you on as a client. If you are incorrigible, which means hard to work with, if you think you know everything, then you don't need me. All money's not good money, and I'm not hurting for any. So the fact of the matter is, listen, at 36 years old, I don't have the time or the patience or the energy to be dealing with incorrigible people. I want to help people that are going to put in the work, that are going to listen, learn, and grow so they can find the success that they want to find. If that's not you, don't waste your time, right, paying me an assessment fee. Before you pay me and book an assessment, before you pay that money, go watch the videos first. It's a lot of free information out there. Save yourself some money. Don't pay me for something that you could have got for free that I already put out, okay? That's a waste of money, and I don't want that to happen to you, okay? Now, other than that, before you pay me for an assessment, make sure you read a book first. It's cheaper for you. A lot of what people ask me is covered in the books and in the videos that I've already done, and it's much cheaper or free for you to get it that way. Now, once you've done those things, then you'll have a foundational framework and a good plan of execution for yourself that you can bring to me that I can take you to the next level with. Now it's worth the assessment. Now it's worth the consulting fees, but never pay somebody for something that you can get for free. Or a lot cheaper. That's foolishness. And I'm not in the business of that. So just want to put that out there for the record. That's it.
I think you did cover everything. And you also have the book 100, is it 101 easy way to 101
101 easy ways to fix your credit. Yes. For those of you who don't want to for those of you who don't want to sit through 4 hours of videos, hey man, I wrote you a quick little cheat guide. Ain't nothing but $17. Go pick it up and read it. And couple that with the letters, and you still get most of the way where you want to be. I recommend you watch the videos though, because if you just watch the 4 hours of videos, right, it's four different videos. It's an hour each. If you just watch those, and you don't have to buy the book, right? Because you got the information for free. But if you don't have the time, or you just don't have the willingness to sit through 4 hours of free information, well, then you can shortcut the situation by spending $17 and buying a book. It's up to you.
Yeah. It's like,
hey, here's the interesting thing, right? Yo, listen, let me just one other thing before we wrap this up. Here's the cool thing, right? People don't realize that I got this cold little funnel going on, and people don't even realize what's really happening. So I'm going to put this out there for the record, right? Okay. Look, I watch everything that happens on my social media, right? I'm a very data-driven decision maker who's solutions-oriented, right? So I look at data. Data tells me what to do. Do not think for 1 second that you are going to book me for an assessment and I'm going to consult you and I see you not engaging. What you have to understand is the first step is your engagement. If I see you constantly watching the videos, constantly liking the videos, constantly commenting, I know you're actually serious, right? You're actually trying to gain the knowledge. It's free knowledge. It's free. So, and when I see you doing that, then I'm like, okay, this is somebody that has potential, right? I watch everything, right? So what happens is the way my funnel works, it allows me to separate the wheat from the chaff without people even realizing that's happening. Because if you can't sit down and watch a video, if you can't sit down and learn free information, there is no way that you are going to be willing to dedicate the capital necessary to successfully grow a business. Neither do you have the attention span or the work ethic or the sufficient dedication necessary. So I'm personally not interested. There's some fly-by-night guru that'll for sure take your money, but Fredrick Scott ain't finna do it. I'm just gonna keep it a whole buck with you. So, like if you want to work with me, right, I'm all for helping those that want to help themselves, right? Because working with me is not just about me doing all the work for you. Yeah, you're going to ask me a question, I know the answers. I'm going to give you the answers, but I'm also going to make you do some homework too. Because think about it like this. This is how I like to explain it to my clients. If I do all the work for you, you learn nothing. Yeah, you make the money, but you learn nothing. And so when you start another business, you're going to have to come see me again and pay all this money again for me to do the same things for you over and over again. However, if I teach you to fish, if I educate you, right, then what happens time you start a business is the next time you go to do something, guess what happens? You have to pay me less because you need me less because you know more things. The stuff that I've learned over the course of my career, right, I learned because I spent tens of thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars to experts. And since I was paying them all this money anyway, you best damn believe, hey, I'm paying you. You got to answer my questions. Yeah, I'm watching, I'm learning, I'm studying. And I'm saving so much money now, right? Because I don't have to pay them except for the really, really important things. The other stuff I can do myself.
But you invested into
right.
That. Yeah.
You get out what you put into it.
Yeah, you invested into it.
You're only going to be as successful as your effort, dedication, and willingness to commit yourself is going to allow you to get. That's it.
I absolutely love it. Yes. _Glamel_. She said, everyone don't do that.
That's a fact.
Everyone don't become successful either,
That's a fact. Hey, man, the words are easy to say. The walk is much different, baby. I hear a lot of people talking. I see very few people walking. And I see even less people walk to the end. Hey, listen, it's real simple. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's not as hard as you think it is. Ain't no mystery. Ain't no secret. Ain't none of that. Put one foot in front of the other. Get up every day. Keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Business sucks until it doesn't. It stops sucking the moment you start making the money you want to make. If you're not willing to make the money, to put in the effort necessary to make the money that you want to make, it's going to continue to suck.
It is. Hey. And it's not going to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Hey, so funny enough, I'm a Muslim. And, as a Muslim, there's a thing we learn in Islam. Allah doesn't change the conditions of the people until they change the conditions within themselves. What does that mean? Hey, nothing changes for you until you start changing you.
Yes.
So listen, Hey man, when you make the decision, it's often said when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I very much take that to heart, and I
That's
operate in
very
that
true.
vein. When you
That's
are
very
ready,
true.
I will show up. Not a moment sooner. I'm not begging you to be successful. I'm not gonna live your life for you. I can't. I don't want
Mm,
to. Bro, I got kids and everything. Ain't nobody got time for all of that.
that's wasting time. Who
Man,
wants to
listen,
do
time is the
that?
most precious thing in life you got. It's the one thing in life you can never get back. So if you want
Who
to
wants
waste
to
your
do
time,
that?
that's cool. Hell, look, if you want to waste your time, that's cool. Waste yours. You ain't finna waste none of mine. I ain't got that
Mm-mm.
to do.
No, we do not. I've changed the name. I didn't even realize that it was wrong at the bottom. So you guys, please go and follow Mr. Fredrick D. Scott. You like him? Yes, I absolutely loved him. This has been an amazing hour. Yeah, I apologize for that. Guys, please go and follow. You have an amazing website. So many is full of so much information. And I think that financial literacy is definitely something but I think that I can even teach a thing or two, pass on some of those things to my children because I have them read for themselves.
I mean, my son is 14 and he can explain cryptocurrency to you better than most adults can because I groom my kids. I raised them in financial literacy. Like I raise them in that. You have to groom your children
Yeah.
for success. You indoctrinate them into success. They don't just fall into success. If you want your children to do better than you did, then you got to educate yourself enough to be able to educate them at a younger age so they have a longer time span to be able to do more than you did, right? Because success is just a matter of time if you put in the effort. The more time you have, the more success you can find. It's a time thing.
Yeah, and that's it, folks. We are at the end. Wow, that's how we're going to end it. I usually ask, though, I do. I'm going to ask the
Sure,
question because I always ask the question. At the end
sure.
of every show, I always ask if you can give one word or a sentence, something to motivate or inspire us as we continue to move forward on our journey, even though I just feel like this entire conversation has been that, but take it away.
If I could give people one thing that I'd like them to take away from this conversation, I would say commitment. Be fully committed to everything you do in this life. Give it all you've got because at that point in time, if you fully commit yourself to everything you do in this life, you will be successful. If you fail to do that, you will not succeed. That's it.
That's it. Thank you so much. Love, light, and energy to you as you continue
Thank you
on
so
this
much.
journey. I am definitely looking forward to following you and seeing what you have. And the podcast. Definitely, right? It's the podcast, right?
Yes, the hashtag Get Real Woke. You can find it on
Yes.
YouTube, Fredrick D. Scott LLC. But if you just hit my link tree and you just, it's there. You just hit my link
Oh,
tree,
and I
right?
have that was another thing. Oh my God, the conversation was so amazing. I have to shout out my sponsor really quickly here, and I'm going to send this over to you. I
Sure.
know that you have Linktree, but I always say that this is Linktree on steroids. This is a digital business card.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, all of your products, you can add payment plans, you can add videos, YouTube. Um, Pretty much it's amazing, like people can book and consult right there with that card, and you can airdrop it and all of these cool things. So it turns into this when you upload it onto your phone like an app, and you can
Oh,
press
that's
all of those
nice.
things. Yeah, it's really cool. So I'm going to send that over to you. So shout out to my sponsor, 10K Cards Digital Business Card. So I'm going to send that over to you as soon as
For
we get
sure.
off.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And
No
thank you
problem.
guys.
Thank
I
you for
see people
having
are
me.
people are coming on now and you guys missed it. So you're gonna have to watch the replay when I repost it there. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.